What's going on, guys? I'm back again with another video, and in this video I'll be telling you the best Leviathan raid setup or loadout in Destiny 2, and this is obviously for the Titan. And since Prestige is coming out within the next few days, I figured I'd go ahead and make a video on the best loadout that you guys can use in the Leviathan raid. So for starters, I'm going to go ahead and jump right into it. For the subclass, definitely recommend using the Striker subclass, and if you go ahead, I would definitely recommend running the Rally Barricade with Strafe Lift and Pulse Grenades. Pulse Grenades are one of the best grenades in Destiny 2, and the Strafe Lift is the best movement on the Titan as well. Rally Barricade is really nice because for Callus, you're able to place it down on the plate, and then the people behind it could crouch behind it and instantly reload their weapons without actually doing the reload animation. Another thing I would definitely recommend is the top tree for Striker, because the top tree gives you an additional grenade, and whenever you slam with your Fist of Havoc, it makes a pulse grenade area of effect. Also, it gives you the shoulder charge, which if you shoulder charge people, damaging them will give you your grenade recharge. So definitely recommend running the top tree. The bottom tree is not really viable at all during the raid. So also, you could use the Sunbreaker subclass. Once again, use Rally Barricade, Strafe Lift. Use the Thermite Grenade, as the Thermite Grenade is the best grenade for the subclass, since the other grenades are kind of pointless. I recommend using the top tree. You could use whatever tree that you feel comfortable with. I like using the top tree just because of explosive pyre and the molten embers on impact when the hammers hit. Also, with the melting point is really nice as well. I recommend not running the Sentinel subclass, because Sentinel is just something that I don't see is viable at all during the raid. So I just never use it, and if you guys want to use the Sentinel subclass, I'd go ahead and use it. Just me personally, I don't like the Sentinel subclass at all. Striker Titan is one of the best subclasses, so I definitely recommend using that. Now let's go ahead and go into the weapons. For your primary, I would definitely recommend using the Nameless Midnight or the Better Devils. These two weapons are really nice, and they both come with explosive rounds, and they're both really good for their archetype. The Nameless Midnight you can get from the Vanguard packages, also from the 2 strikes that you had to do for the questline. So if you haven't done that yet, and go ahead and do it, and definitely pick up the Nameless Midnight. You can also get the Better Devils from the Crucible or Crucible engram drops. So if you don't have this, I would definitely try to strive for it, as it is a really solid hand cannon for PvP and PvE. And it does come with explosive rounds, like I said before. Another thing I do recommend is the Ghost Primus. This is a raid auto rifle, one of the best auto rifles that I've used in the raid. And it does come with under pressure, which improves stability and accuracy as the magazine gets lower. And it also has glass half full and ambitious assassin, which Ambitious Assassin, if you get a triple kill, for example, and you reload, you would reload with 60 bullets instead of the base 44. It's honestly really helpful to use, and if you do have it, definitely recommend using this as well, as this thing is a beast for callus damage as well. So that's the primaries I would definitely recommend, and let's go ahead and go into the energy weapons. The Main and Nain SR4, best scout rifle in the game. Definitely recommend using it if you do have it. Also, the Annual Skate, if you do have the Annual Skate, one of the best energy hand cannons in Destiny 2, in my opinion, for PvE, mostly because it comes with Outlaw, and it's that same archetype as Better Devils, which is the best archetype in my opinion for PvE. You get the Annual Skate from just a random drop from the Gunsmith or from engrams. You could also get the Main and Nain just from the Gunsmith as well. Another thing I definitely recommend using for Callus is the Perseverance or the Valakadon. Definitely use these weapons if you don't have the Cold Heart. Cold Heart is an exotic weapon that you got from pre-order in the game, which is available with, I believe it comes available in December. So if you don't have the Cold Heart, definitely use one of these two weapons, as they are really good for Callus damage. They did the same damage as the Cold Heart if the Cold Heart doesn't have its perk, where as it's shooting at a target, it gets more damage the longer it remains on the target. So if you got rid of that entire perk, it will do the same damage as these two. So obviously, I definitely recommend running these two weapons, as they are really, really nice to use. Both of these you can also get from engrams and the Gunsmith as well. random drops, like I said before. Now for your power weapons, I definitely recommend using the Sins of the Past, the Warcliffe Coil, or the Curtain Call. Sins of the Past is a raid drop, which also comes with cluster bombs, and cluster bombs is one of the best perks on a rocket launcher you could get. Same with the Curtain Call, except Curtain Call has less blast radius, and I made a detailed guide on which one is better, so if you guys haven't checked out that video, be sure to check it out. It's the Sins of the Past versus the Curtain Call and which is better. In my opinion, I definitely recommend using the Sins of the Past, and when you do get to Callus, switch to the Curtain Call if you do have it. Another weapon that I definitely recommend using is the Warcliffe Coil. Don't run this for the Pleasure Gardens area, as they do not damage the dogs. They do not get a buff to the spore damage. So anywhere else, definitely recommend the Warcliffe Coil, as it does immense damage to single target orange bars, which is really nice to use. Now when you're at Callus, I definitely recommend using the Tarantella or the Merciless or the Curtain Call, just because these are really nice damage for Callus, as Tarantella is the best damage overall. Merciless is not so bad, but it can be overtopped by the Tarantella and the Curtain Call. Curtain Call is really good because if you mix this with the Rally Barricade, that has the best DPS in the game. So if you do have the Curtain Call and you mix it with the Rally Barricade at Callus, definitely recommend using those, because you will be top end for damage. And if you mix that with the Valkadon or the Cold Heart, when you deplete all of your rocket launcher ammo, you go ahead and switch to your energy and dump as much ammo as you can into Callus, and it's a really nice rated loadout for Callus. Alright, so that was pretty much it for the weapons. Those are all the weapons I definitely recommend. Now let's go ahead and get with the armor. So starting off with the armor stats, the only stats that really matter in Destiny 2 is recovery. Resilience, I mean, there isn't that much of a difference if you have like 0 resilience and 10 resilience. Ehroar made a video about that, and it's a really nice video, so if you guys haven't checked that out, be sure to check that out as well. Mobility, mobility is pointless in this game. I try to run as little mobility as I can. Mobility just pretty much increases your jump height and movement speed without sprinting. So the only stat that you should definitely recommend, that I recommend going into, is recovery. So on the Titan, the max that you could get is 9. Oh, I just got some thing for Trials of the 9. But definitely I recommend using 9 because that is the max that you could use on a Titan. And in order to do that, you will need a helmet that has 1 resilience into recovery, gauntlets 1 resilience into recovery. Now you can use a chest piece with 2 resilience and 2 recovery, which is from the Vanguard, or you could use this Crucible one, which gives you 1 mobility and 1 resilience, but also gives you 2 recovery, so it's really nice. But I definitely do recommend using the Vanguard chest piece because it has 0 mobility on it. And then for the leg armor, I haven't found any recovery stats that doesn't give you 1 mobility, so it's a shame that you have to run at least 1 mobility if you want a 9 stack. So for the exotics, I definitely recommend using the Dune Marchers, as the Dune Marchers is probably one of the best exotics on the Titan just because of the movement speed. If you mix this with the Minuteman SR4, you move really fast, especially in the gauntlet part when you're running with the ball. You will notice the difference, and it's really nice to have. Another exotic that I definitely recommend is the Crest of Alpha Lupi. This basically generates an additional orb when you do pop your super, and also when you pop your barricade, you will get your health back from popping it. So really nice exotic to use, but I do have to give it to the Dune Marchers if you do have the Dune Marchers. Another one that I do recommend is the Mask of the Quiet one. Basically, whenever you get damaged, and you will get your melee, grenade, and class ability back. This also works for your teammates, so if your teammates shoot you, you will also get your ability back as well, which is honestly really broken for the exotic, but I do still have to give it down to the Dune Marchers because of the movement speed. And now let's go ahead and go into the mods that I use for each stuff. For the Mark, I definitely recommend using the resilience or the reload speeds because, in my opinion, I don't see a use to having class abilities recharge faster because it's a little amount of number and it's a low number, and I just don't see a point in using it. So I definitely recommend using it to go into your stats and reload speed as well. For the boots, I definitely would use recovery, since recovery is one of the best mods, or one of the best stats to have. And then for your chest piece, I would use improve reload speed for your power weapon, as it is really nice improved speed, and if you mix that with your mark, it stacks as well. For your gauntlets, I would use improves reload speed for equipped kinetic weapon, as this thing is really nice because it increases it by a lot, and I do notice the difference between the scouts and the hand cannon, so definitely recommend using reload speed for your kinetic. And then for your helmet, you can use increased resilience, and like I said before, I don't see a point in using the grenades recharge faster and abilities recharge faster, just because of the number is so low. And yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much it for the entire build on the Titan, the best Leviathan raid loadout. Hopefully you guys did enjoy that. If you did, be sure to leave a like. Comment down below if you have any recommendations for different loadouts for people. And yeah, so thank you all for watching. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'm Monitor, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.